We are going to do a walkthrough of our event for tomorrow. I'm going to start with registration. Please note that if you registered for today, but you have not registered on Premier Virtual, you will want to do that. It is a separate registration. And so first and foremost, let's walk you through that. You'll either get one of two links. The first link is our main registration page, and you will want to register as an attendee and then hit continue. And that will take you to the screen that is the other screen you might get with the link that I'm going to put in the chat, which is our attendee welcome page. From here, you'll see a little graphic with the event information, a blue button that says register for event, some more information about this event in particular, and then importantly, a schedule. You can see February 27th, we have already started our early access, which means that when we get off this call, you can go right into the lobby and start exploring the employers that are participating. We are live tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And what that means is that recruiters will be in their booths ready to chat with you, giving you access to human people chatting live. Now, there is another caveat to that I will talk about in a bit. Which is that they have the opportunity to invite you to a video conversation. So hang tight, I will show you all of that. But let's go back to registration. When you click register to event, you'll get this pop-up that comes up that says either register as an attendee or sign in. If you have ever used Premier Virtual before, not just for a Golden Sierra event, but in general, you already have a Premier Virtual account. So you just need to put in your email and password that you used before. If you can't remember your password, there is a forget password button that you can reset your password. But that way, all of your information that you put in before will be saved, and it'll take you a few minutes to register instead of a little bit longer. Now, if you're new to the platform, register as an attendee is going to be the tab you want to go with. You'll type in your email and then create a password and then hit register to event. From here, a pop-up will come up that walks you through, I think it's 5 different widgets in order to set up your profile for success. However, there's a few things that are not part of that widget that I want to talk about that will help you connect further with recruiters and impress them. And that is going to be, once you get to your main dashboard, you'll log in. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a menu and either a gear wheel or the words My Profile. When you click on My Profile, you can update your bio. This is a really great thing to add to your profile because it's like your elevator pitch, your introductory to all these recruiters. Here's what I have to offer. Come ask me to talk to you. That's what you're saying with this information. But you want to click on the edit profile button, and then you'll edit that bio section, and then maybe add that you're a veteran. I know we've had a few veterans on the call today. What will happen is if you select that you're a veteran, a little American flag will show up on your profile wherever you go in the platform and acknowledge you as the service that you have given. And again, thank you so much for your service. We do appreciate you and are thankful for all that you have given to our country. With that too, I want to add that there is an experience section. I think this is part of the widget, but either way, you want to update this section. I know a lot of people kind of skip over it, but this is how recruiters can find you based on skill. And so you can go in here, you can see mine up top, senior operations manager, workforce analyst. Those are things that I was able to put in my skill section. So if I'm looking, if a recruiter is looking for someone that can do content management, they're going to look for people like me. And so as you're searching, make sure that you get all of these categories perfected to your highest level of skill. We suggest up to 10, but there's really no limit on the skills that you want to put if you have a vast background in your work experience. And you can also add certifications, which is important, especially for our IT professionals. Go ahead and click on those and make sure they're up there. And then last but not least, you want to add a resume. This could be a generic resume. This could be a tailored resume, whatever you would like to include. There is not a limit to the number of documents that you can upload here. However, submitting a resume in this particular job fair is not going to mean you have applied for that job. As we've learned throughout the day, there's an extensive application process in all of these civil service jobs, but this will allow the recruiter to follow up with you after the event if you drop a resume into their booth. And in most cases, if a job posting is up, there is going to be an external link that takes you to where you have to officially apply. Which brings me to our event. So when you are on the main dashboard window, it's app.premiervirtual.com. You log in with your email no matter where you are, which I definitely recommend bookmarking that page when you have it up, because it's easier to get back to the next time. But then you just click events. If you don't see it on your main page, then you'll see the Get Hired Government Jobs Workshop and Networking. And then that grayed out button that says Access Lobby will actually be green now. And you can click on that. It'll take you right to the lobby. I'll get to the other two buttons in a minute. The event info just takes you back to that main welcome page. But the My Journey I'll talk about in just a second. And then once you get into the lobby, you'll see two categories, resources and now hiring. The resources section is going to house teams like DOR. It's going to house Golden Sierra because we're here to help you. And then our partners in Placer County who do similar work to Golden Sierra. But that's going to be a great resource. If anything I said earlier sits well with you and you want to find out more, definitely come into the resources section and talk to us. And then the now hiring, of course, is where our recruiters will be and probably where you will spend most of the day tomorrow. But with the now hiring, we have several categories: cities, federal jobs, county jobs, and then state jobs. So depending on which one you're looking for, or if you're just looking for a job that you have the skills for, you can click on all agencies and departments, and every single person registered will be in that main room. And then once you click on a particular agency or booth, you will see I have Golden Sierras up here. It'll give you an About Us section. That's going to give you a brief synopsis of what that department does or who that company is. They'll have their job postings there. You will actually see us in the now hiring section because we do have a couple of openings right now. We're hosting one for a job center in Amador County, and we have one within our accounting department. So I will be there recruiting with you. But and then of course the section next to that, book a time with recruiters. Recruiters have the opportunity to set up appointments with you that are about 15 minutes, and you can pick an appointment to meet with a recruiter, and that would be the best way for you to have a video conversation. And then some customizable links with Golden Sierra, learn more about us, our events calendar, and then Get Started are the ones that we have hosted, but each booth selects their own, up to 3. Excuse me. So feel free to peruse and check out all of that. You can see their website, their LinkedIn information, all of that on the side of the booth. So just explore. Tonight is going to be a great opportunity for you to do that so that you're well versed and ready for tomorrow. But we do hope that you can figure it out, and it's very intuitive, but if you have questions, I'll be in the resource sections in the Golden Sierra booth and happy to answer your questions. On the far right side of the booth, you'll have a continual chat message that will be every recruiter you've talked to throughout the day. That will stay with you no matter which booth you are in. So with that, I will say, feel free to greet recruiters as you are talking to them. If somebody were to walk up to a table, or if you walked up to a table, you wouldn't want someone not to say hello to you. So think like that. Think of your response as being one that is very timely in response to their hello, or the first time that you enter the first time you enter that space, make sure to say hello to the recruiters that you are interested in speaking with. And then you'll see a little blue icon. That is going to be your accessibility menu. If for some reason you need a screen reader or your screen text to be bigger, things like that, that little blue widget is going to be your best friend. So check it out and see what's available to you on using that and what might help you be even more successful during this event. I touched on this a little bit. Use that chat message to talk to the recruiters. We are chat forward, which means that in most cases, you're going to just text with people all day. But there are cases where certain hiring departments would rather be on video. So be prepared for the video, dress professionally. I used to say, at least from the waist up, because you want to make sure that you're putting your best impression into the recruiters for these positions. And then you, like I said, you might receive a video call. You will have to accept permissions for your camera and microphone in order to go on a video call. If for some reason you're in a public location or there's not a webcam on your device, then you just kindly decline that call and then explain to the recruiter that you are not in a place where you are able to do a video call at this time and ask to set something up for later. And then you will click, if you're able to accept that, a pop-up will come join. They're inviting you to a video conference. You just hit that blue button and it'll take you right into what looks like a Zoom call. And again, I can hang tight after this session if you are interested in trying that and logging into the platform. I can help walk you through that video chat. Or tomorrow morning, again, you can come into my booth and I'd be happy to help you then as well. When applying for jobs within the app, again, with civil service jobs, this is not a complete application. However, it's a great way to look at the positions, really understand and put in your interest for a position to allow a recruiter to follow up with you. This one's for a barista. There's a very short description there, but in most cases, this is going to be a long, detailed message about what qualifications are required, and then should have a link to their careers page in order to officially apply for that position. It will show you how many people they're recruiting for, where that job is located. And this becomes important because one of those location options is in fact remote. So if that is something that you are interested in, use remote as your location in the search menu at the top of the booth. There are 4 different categories, I believe. There's a search by industry, which they call job category. There's a search by job title if you're looking for a specific job title. Again, there's some of those might be a little bit fluid because not all job titles have the same thing, but you can kind of type in what you're looking for and see what comes up in the list. And then there's a job location search, which will include that remote position. And then lastly, a salary. If you're looking for a particular salary, you can filter all of the booths by the amount of that salary outcome. And then last but not least, I want to talk about the dispositioning of a company. This is going to help you post-event look back on who you talked to. Given that there are 44 departments coming tomorrow, you want to make sure that you can keep them all straight. So let's say you had a really good conversation with one individual and they gave you a tip for their department. You can leave a note saying, I talked to so-and-so and this is what will help me get a job with the Department of Technology, whatever that might be. And then you can rank that company. If you're completely not interested in working for that, you can, rank them a lower star level or update your status of where you left off the conversation with that individual, who was following up with who, all of those things. Now, I want to point out these statuses, the leave note, rank, and status, no one can see that but you. So those are just for you to help you remember where you left off. I can't see that. Recruiters can't see that. So that is just for you. And the ever popular list of our employers. Now you know why I didn't just list them off in the call. We have a ton of people, ton of state agencies, a ton of counties. I'm not sure. Our City of Lincoln rep is sick, so I'm not sure if they'll be there tomorrow, but we'll do our best to connect. And I'm going to leave this up for just a minute so that I can check the chat for questions and that you can look at this list a little bit longer. To sign up for the eBlast, you want to just go to goldensierra.com and a big blue box will pop up and you just put your email in there and select that you're a job seeker wanting the jobs eBlast. Citrus Heights, we sometimes work with Citrus Heights, but in most cases, we're going to refer you to our partners at Sacramento Employment Training Agency. We work very closely with them, and our funding is based on the populations in our counties. So we do our best to work with you, but typically we'll send you over there. And if they aren't able to work with you, you'll come back to Golden Sierra and then we'll be able to. But again, it all depends on all of those qualification pieces. But we all work together and for the better of our community and you included. So thank you for that question. And then I'm seeing, where do you add certifications? This is going to be in the experience section. So it's under the My Profile, edit, and then it'll say like bio, add experiences. And I can probably pull up mine if we have time after, and I can help you do that. And then LinkedIn, does it give you a LinkedIn address for job seekers? I hadn't heard that yet. That must be new. That the LinkedIn address is for the company booth. So I'm not sure if you can do that for a job seeker on your profile, but you can definitely add a link to your resume and then upload your resume as well. Yes, you are able to join anytime between 10 and 2 for as long as you'd like, or as, if you have just one of these employers that you want to specifically talk to, you're only there for 20 minutes. That's fine too. We don't tell you have to be there start to finish. Just like today, we wanted to provide the sessions, but we know it's a lot of information, so we don't expect you to attend to every single one. For those of you that have hung with me all day, you're troopers and I appreciate you. Another question about our experiences. I actually have some that are volunteer positions. I would say experiences are things that you are professionally good at, or that would translate to professionally good at. So volunteer leadership positions, if you volunteer with a charity or you've done some fundraising, perhaps that could be something, but there's a lot. So I hope that answers your question, but again, let's connect offline and I can help you with those categories. Every one of those experience categories opens up into a lot more, so it can be overwhelming. So take your time to go through those and make sure that you're selecting the ones that are most important. If you're looking for a particular position, I would highlight those experiences of your work history that also correlate with the jobs that you're looking for first. All right, with that, I'm going to go back. I know we're over time. I appreciate you guys hanging with me today. It's been a long day, but we're in the home stretch. At the end of your event, you're going to have access to the platform, to the event, and to review your My Journey section. That is where all of those status notes that I mentioned a minute ago are. That is where you left off with the company. That is a list of every resume that you submitted during the event, as well as your chat transcripts. So if you want to look back, if you didn't write in My Journey, I talked to so-and-so, but you need to look back, you can look at your chat transcripts from this event as long as you have an account with Premier Virtual. And then a couple of quick tips, and then I will go back to questions. Before the virtual job fair, you definitely want to register ahead of time. If you try to register at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, you're going to use all the time that is available with the live recruiters setting up your booth. So definitely do it before 9:30 tomorrow is probably your best bet. But if you do it sooner than later, you can go in, explore the lobby, research those employers that are participating, maybe upload a resume that has been targeted to a specific position. You can practice your pitch too. With in-person job fairs, you always have a couple of things that you say when you meet recruiters. The same is true in the virtual space. You can have a couple of prepared statements, like on a Word file on your computer or something like that, that you're going to copy and paste into a chat with an employer. Hi, my name is Sarah. I am looking for a position I am looking for a student internship. Do you offer those? Something like that. Anything that you feel that you would be saying repeatedly to these recruiters is a good idea to have on a Word file. And then check your tech. I mentioned this. I'm available to see if your video works, to walk through that with you so that you don't troubleshoot too much tomorrow during the event. But make sure you are in a place with great Wi-Fi. If your home has wonderful kids running around, maybe make sure you're in a quiet space or have some noise canceling headphones so that you can focus on what you're doing with the job fair, things like that. And then, of course, I mentioned all of these before, but just a recap: dress to impress, at least from the waist up, so that you're prepared to go to video. And also, it helps you get in the right headspace when you're looking for a job to dress professionally, get ready for the day so that you're putting that best foot forward. And then be distraction free. I mentioned that. Make sure you put yourself in a position to be successful and not distracted. Be ready to talk to these organizations and these recruiters. It is a great opportunity to connect with them and find out what they're looking for specifically in their department. You heard about the application process today, but now's your chance to look at the job openings that they're offering and then ask them, what certifications are you looking for? What skills are you looking for? If you take a look at my resume, what do you think I need in order to fill this position? That's going to be the advice they're going to be able to give you tomorrow to help you put that application packet out into their system completely successfully, to make it onto that list, to make it onto those interviews, all of those things. You're going to want to know all of the inside scoops from these recruiters. Be professional. Make sure that when you're sharing information that it has to do with your career path and, is articulating how you would communicate as a professional individual. And then document. Make sure you use that My Journey step so you can keep it all straight after the event when your brain is exhausted and you're ready for a celebration. Which brings me to my last point of the day. We're almost done with this call, which means that you get to celebrate today and tomorrow. I like to say, go for a walk and enjoy the sunshine. If you're in the Sacramento Valley, we're about to get a big storm this weekend. So go enjoy this last day of sunshine as best you can, or grab a scoop of ice cream, something to tell yourself you've done a job well done. We are glad that you were here and taking a step in the right direction. And then send those thank you notes after tomorrow. Make sure you follow up. I know Spencer mentioned LinkedIn. That is a great way to connect with state recruiters, especially. There's a ton of them on there and they're very active. So, but before you do that, make sure your LinkedIn is all set up and ready for them to view because they want to remember you. But also when you're sending those thank you notes, make sure I met you on the government jobs virtual networking, and I am so-and-so, we talked about this. Make sure that there's some content to that thank you note that's going to remind them of who you are, which will just impress them when you get to be in front of them and interviewing and things